Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
First and foremost, we give all praise, all honor, all glory to the King of the world, the King of the universe, Amen. To our Father. And to y'all I say, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
How y'all feeling out there? Hallelujah. It's a great day. Today was a beautiful day. It's been a beautiful week. I've had a beautiful life. I mean, we can go on and on with this great King. But we had good teachings today. We had some very excellent teachings. What they spoke about, you know, is some good things. Even with that First Samuel thing, we that friendship, it was deep. I can't fix it. About to do karate on that. Give it a judo chop. Yeah. And one thing that Issachar said, we have to try to, when we come up here, most of the words we saying, we've learned from teachers that were here before us. They've instilled things in us, and we'd be remiss if we don't try to pass that on to future people. And, you know, as he mentioned, Maury Michelle and other teachers, you know, one great teacher that I had, I believe my first teacher, but I had a lot of teachers, but Chief Amos Ben Lewi, he used to always, from my youth, when I first met him, I must have been about 15 and 16, he was a great teacher in the whole aspect of the book. But as I'm about to go into these parts right here, he was one of the masters at teaching about Proverbs, teaching about Ecclesiastes, going into the Apocrypha, because he was a stern believer. He loved to talk to the youth. He really pushed himself in talking to the youth and sitting you down. And as a young person, you really don't understand why you had to sit there for 3 hours and listen to somebody talk. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, as you grew older, you got to understand this. And when he went into the Apocrypha and to other books of wisdom, I mean, he could have easily went into the first 5 books, but he went into these books because as a young person, especially growing up in New York, there were so many things that you had to maneuver around. There were so many obstacles in your way. And this Apocrypha and books like this, it just gave you like a little more heads up. It gave you, you know, a little edge when you went out there. If you read this and tried to get some understanding of it, it gave you an edge on how this world is and how different people you're dealing with, you know, as a young man. Because they say about most of us young men, young people in general, when you, from like the age of 14, 15 to 21, that's your most, you're real vulnerable then, you know what I mean? You're susceptible to a lot of things, and there's so many things out there that can catch you. You know, when you're coming out of junior high school and you're getting ready to go into high school, and, you know, you're new there, so you go in there now, you got your first summer job, and your mom say, listen, you go out, you know, you can buy you something, you know, for school and stuff. And, you know, you done met some people in school, and you come home, and you done laid all the clothes out on the bed, and your mom's be like, what you buy? It's right there. I said, what? That's all black. Everything on the bed is black. But you done met some girl in school or some guy, and they into this thing, and you know, all we wear is black, and all we do. And you know, your friend done got you involved in this thing, and that's what happens. And this is a time when your friends become more of the people you listen to than your parents. You know, when you was a baby and all of that, your parents say everything, but you get to that age where you're like, Mom, I got this, huh? Oh, I got this, Abba. But your friends is giving you the little information now. So these words of wisdom is just words that we can go through, and she almost used to sit down with us and talk with us about this, and it gave you pretty much an edge. So we're gonna start off in the Apocrypha in chapter 9. I'm sorry, not in the Apocrypha. in the Tanakh, in the Proverbs, chapter 9.
Proverbs, the 9th chapter.
And what we're dealing with here in the 9th chapter of Proverbs is, well, Proverbs is really like wisdom and just talking, talking to us as youths. I should do like the reverse of what Chief Naff did. I should send all the elders out the room now and just keep the kids, you know what I mean? So I can talk to the youth a little bit about what's going on in life, but I'll let y'all stay. Y'all can stay. Yeah, so this part of Proverbs is wisdom, and what's basically happening in this chapter is we're getting some invitations. We're getting 2 invitations, one in the beginning, and we'll see later one in the end. And we'll see what this is about. Come, sheep.
Proverbs chapter 9, verse 1. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Wisdom hath builded her house. She hath hewn out her 7 pillars. She hath prepared her meat. She hath mingled her wine. She hath also furnished her table. She hath sent forth her maidens. She calleth upon the high places of the city. Whoso is thoughtless, let him turn hither. As for him that lacketh understanding, she said to him, Come, eat of my bread, and drink of the wine which I have mingled.
Hold on. Okay. Like I said, this is an invitation to wisdom's banquet. Wisdom has put forth a banquet for you, Israel. Not so much as in food, but in wisdom and in knowledge and in trying to get the understanding of what's in this book that the Most High has left on record for us. So the wisdom is saying, look, the book is open, people. The books are on the shelves. The books are all over. It said you can read these things. It said wisdom has built her house. She has hewn her 7 pillars. That means she made this foundation. This thing is steady. Wisdom that went through this with the Most High and knows this to be right. It says she has slaughtered her animal. She has mixed her wine. She has also set her table. She has sent out her girl servants, and she calls from the high places. Wisdom is always amongst us. Wisdom is always calling out. In all our endeavors, you're going to get that thing that tells you, okay, this is the right thing to do. Don't do this. This is wisdom talking to us, whether we hear or whether we forbear. It says, come, eat of my bread and drink of the wine I have mixed. It says, drink of this stuff. It said, take this stuff in like food. We got to read this book daily. We got to take this in. We got to internalize this and walk with it. Right. If we just do this on the Shabbat, we missing out on so much. Exactly. If we only ate one day a week, we'd be so weak. Right. We'd be really weak. And that's what you are when you're only taking this in one day a week. Exactly. When you have that spare time, you don't say, let me open up the book. And it starts off where you say, man, I'm going to read a chapter. But if you started it like that, when we came into this thing, we started reading this, and then, like Chief of Chiefs say, you couldn't put it down. Right. You wanted to know what happened in the next chapter. Right. After you read the first Samuel 20, right. Like the brother you want to know what 21 had to offer. Right. When you see David, the love David and Jonathan had for each other, and that's true brotherhood. Right. And it just shows you, that portion just showed you how Israel should be. Like the brother said, he didn't go against his father. He never went against his father, but he had to deal with righteousness. He was raised on godliness. So this is what this book teaches us. Kamshi.
Verse 6. Forsake all thoughtlessness and live, and walk in the way of understanding.
It says, lay aside immaturities and live and walk in the way of insight. And that's what this book gives you. When you enter this book, even at a young age, you're so much more mature than your friends. You know so much more. You got so much more insight. And that's what we need. We start with this book, we learn other things in life. But when you get this insight, it's like when you're talking to people, you know how to talk. Right. You know how many people out there right now that don't know how to communicate, don't know how to talk? Right. But when you read this, you got something to say. You know how to talk to people. If you got to start off with God said. God said. And that's what wisdom does. That's what opening this book and drinking it, eating it. Make this your nourishment. Your shield. Come see.
7. He that correcteth a scorner getteth to himself shame, And he that reproveth a wicked man, it becometh unto him a blot. Reprove not a scorner, lest he hate thee. Reprove a wise man, and he will love thee.
Okay, now we went from wisdom's invitation to wisdom showing you like the do's and the don'ts. In these next few verses, you're going to hear some do's and don'ts. So wisdom just letting you know a few things. It says, whoso correcteth a scorner winneth abuse. If you correct a scorner, a scuffler, only thing you inheriting is abuse. They gonna hate you. They gonna hate you for telling them what's right. Your people out there that you may deal with that knows nothing about this. When you start telling them about law and telling them about showing your nakedness, and they, who she think she is? Telling me how to dress, telling me how to do this. Who he think he is? Telling me pull my pants up. It's the style. But they're going to hate you for trying to do the right thing for them. But as we go further down, it says a scorner who is rebuked will hate you. The wise, when rebuked, will love you. Those of wisdom, your brothers and sisters, your heir-likes, those who read like you and think like you, when you tell, your slip is hanging, something, when you correct them, they love you for that. When your correction is in the right manner. When you pull a person to the side and not blow them up in front of everybody. When you pull them to the side and say, hey, listen, oh, torah. You get to fix yourself up, and now you back on track. And they say, that's all right, sister. That's all right, brother. Because, I thought me and him wasn't really like that. And he had his chance right there. He could have shot some shots, but he called me to the side and said, hey, Prince, thus and thus and thus. And you like that kind of rebuke because it makes you a better person.
9, give to a wise man and he will be yet wiser. Teach a righteous man and he will increase in learning.
It said, give instructions to the wise and they will become wiser still. Teach the righteous and they will gain in learning. Those who are wise or dealing with wisdom, you say you give to them. You run across a nice book, something that's giving more wisdom. You say, hey, I think you should check this out. If you got the cassette for it, sometimes you buy it. Yo, check this book out I was reading. I think you'll find this interesting. And that's in knowing your brother and sister. You say, look, I know that he like these. That's what Chief of Chief. He used to always bring me a apocrypha. He bring me, because he always taught us that you can read the same book, but sometimes the writing is different. The wording is different. And it makes it better understanding. Because my apocrypha is going to be different from his apocrypha. The reading is different. But it gives you more understanding.
Verse 10. The fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. Amen. And the knowledge of the all-holy is understanding.
Fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. And the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. Again, once we get this fear, because you know how many times I've heard somebody say, I bought this one in law. I bought that one in law. I bought 22 people in the law. Everybody who's sitting here, the Most High brought you into these doors.
Right. That's right.
He brought you into these doors. Because they brought you in and they sent you out. No, you can't do law no more.
Right.
I brought you in to do law. No, you can't do law no more. But the Most High sent you. He may have been the vessel, that gave you some insight or whatever.
Right.
But the Most High sent you to try you. He's seen something in you that you may not even have seen in yourself yet.
Right.
But he's seen it. And it says, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. Once you start studying this book and you start reading this and you really meditating on the Most High, and like I believe Chief Nash said, if your heart has brought you to the point where you in this for God, and not because my Ish is in this, or this one is in it, or that one, you come to that point, you see stuff, man, so clearly that other people can't see. You see stuff from a mile away, or you get that feeling. It's just an insight. You be like, wow, this don't look too safe, or that don't look cool, or you be at a party or something, and you with your man or your brother, and you be like, listen, man, you see them two cats just walk through the door. they don't look too kosher, man.
Right.
I think it's time for us to move out, bro.
Right.
You know?
Already know.
Yeah, and you move out, and sure, you see on the news, listening, 2 guys shoot up the club, you know, and then, you know, the cameras everywhere anyway, so now they're going to focus on, you said, I told you, same 2 guys, the same 2 guys that just was something about them. You know, people come into a party, you know, when you get through the door, you ready to do a 2-step.
Right.
When a cat come in there and he got the trench on and he's standing there, and man, it don't look right.
Right.
But the Most High give us that insight that most people just ain't gonna see it
Right.
until it's too late. But, you know, and you trust in that insight. You have to trust in it. 'Cause a lot of people get that little tap on the shoulder, hey, and they don't listen. And that's where we run into problems. Come shoot.
Verse 11. For by me thy days shall be multiplied, and the years of thy life shall be increased. If thou art wise for thyself. And if thou scornest, thou alone shalt bear it.
All right, it says, for by me your days will be multiplied, and years will be added to your life. Through wisdom, through reading this book, understanding this book, putting this, like they say about knowledge. Knowledge is 25% of learning, and the other 75% is application. Applying what we learn here to our daily lives will give us years. It's going to give you years just doing the dietary alone. Just the dietary alone. Just doing that 7-day thing that we just did. It's going to add some time to you. It already gave you a little jolt, you know? And that's how Most High does things, in 7s. A lot of things he does in 7s, not everything, but, you know, but that's 7 days, and you feel it at the end of the feast. I'm just starting to feel it. I'm just starting to go to the bathroom. I'm just starting to do this. So that's the time when you keep it on for a little while longer, and you get the help. It says, for if you are wise for yourself.
Right.
And if you scorn, you alone bear it. Ain't nobody else can die for your sins, or nobody else can take your burdens off you. Yeah, when you do this in the right manner, you're doing it for yourself.
Right.
So don't cheat yourself, because that's the only person you'll be cheating. It says when you inquire, when you speak up. He said, if you are wise, you're wise for yourself. If you know, all right, that block right there has always been trouble. And you know this. You know this to be a fact. That's wisdom. But I'm going to check. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to try it one time. I feel good. Ain't nothing going to happen. That means you going against what you know to be right. He said, and if you bear the scorn, you alone going to bear it. If you rob somebody, you murder somebody, you kill somebody, I'm not going to jail for you. You alone going to bear your burden. All right, come see.
Verse 13. The woman folly is riotous. She is thoughtlessness and knoweth nothing. And she sitteth at the door of her house on a seat in the high places of the city, to call to them that pass by, who go right on their ways. Whoso is thoughtless, let him turn in hither. As for him that lacketh understanding, she said to him, stolen waters are sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he knoweth not that the shades are there, and that her guests are in the depths of the netherworld. Right.
Okay, that's that other invitation. I said there was 2 invitations. The first 6 verses was wisdom inviting you to banquet in the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that is put forth to us, that's on record. But then you have a second invitation. That invitation comes when you don't want to do wisdom. And again, this is wisdom or a teacher talking to younger people. You know, because you out there now. The book is open, but you don't want to use the book. So now folly invites you to their little thing. Right. You know? And when they say the woman is just, you know, it's the enticement of it. It says, the foolish woman is loud. She is arrogant and knows nothing. She sits at the door of her house on a seat at a high place of the town. Okay, just like wisdom sits at the high place calling out. the folly calls out to us.
Right.
Folly is looks just so enjoyable.
That's right.
All this ignorant, silly stuff that's going on out here right now. Young people get sucked into this stuff. People get sucked into surfing trains and doing all kind of stupid stuff.
Right.
Yeah, you get caught in something dumb, and they say, well, how he died? Well, you know, he was playing with the gun.
Right.
They got this new game called Russian roulette, but you play it with a revolver. I mean, not with a revolver, with an automatic.
Wow.
How you play Russian roulette with automatic? Once it's in the chamber, it's in the chamber. All the fun is gone out that game. That's a one-time deal. But this is what folly will invite you to. Something that you know is so stupid. Something, you know, like back in our days, when I was growing up, you know, we had people who did stuff. You had like the dope fiends and different stuff, you know, but they would always tell you, look, shorty, you know, you walk downstairs and you might see them, you bust them, you say, don't do what I'm doing.
Right.
You know, don't do what I'm doing. I don't never want to catch you doing this. If I see you out here messing with this stuff, I'm going to hurt you. They threaten you, but they doing it, but sometimes you get caught in stuff and you know it's a trap. If a mice could tell other mice, yo, don't come over here. Yo, this thing smells so good, and this cheese is, but don't do it. It's a trap. So they can tell you, because sometimes you're so deep in stuff, you can't get yourself out. But if you can help somebody else, but nowadays it ain't like that. People want to invite you to their thing, their folly. They want to tell you smoke some of this K2. Shorty, man, you coming out your clothes and you're bugging out in the street and you're hitting yourself, you're walking through cars like a zombie, and you want to invite people to that. And people are reaching out to folly. So this is what folly is saying. Listen, if you don't want to go to the wisdom party, come on over here. Come on over here. There's plenty of room. It says, calling to those who pass by, who are going straight on their way. You can listen. When you go out in the morning, you have no intention of doing some things, but folly and all that stuff is just waiting for you from the morning, from when you open your eyes and get dressed and go out that door, going to work. Y'all young cats going to school. How many times was going to school, man, and you see that cat and you be like, yo, we going to school. I mean, that's like a given. I'm going to school. Yo, come on, man. Let's play hooky. Let's go over here. Listen, and I mean, and you know, for the life of you, be like, well, okay, what we gonna do? We're gonna hitch the bus. All kind of stupid stuff that you know is dangerous. And sometimes people think that that's fun. Others say, nah, I got a test today. It's Tuesday, I got a test today. But you gotta find ways to battle that, because you have those people out here. And Most High sends that test just for you. The test ain't for nobody else. That's your test. When somebody to come on, hitch the bus. You know, you live in a big building. Where we gonna hide our book bags? Put them under the steps. How many times I'm coming out my house and look under the steps and see all kind of kids' book bags with their names in there, the address, the door number. You hide it in your own building. Put them under the steps. Nobody looks under the steps. But that's the things we do. It says, he said, you who are simple, turn in here. And to those without sense, she says, stolen waters is sweet, and bread eaten in secret pleasant. You gotta make this thing look good. You gotta make foolishness and folly look good, look exciting, look like something you want. You gotta package it right. Come on, stolen waters are sweet. Water's water. But you got, you know, and it said bread eaten in secret is pleasant. You got to just make it seem like y'all doing something that everybody else ain't doing. You know, we better than them. We the elite crowd. Yeah. It says, but they do not know that the dead are there, and that the guests are the depths of Sheol, the grave. You don't know that them things that you're doing, all the folly, is just killing you. Like wisdom said, it add years to your life. Folly kill you, and you don't know when it's gonna happen. You don't know, so you have to really get away from all stupidity and all of these things that don't make sense. That, like, when you go out there, I mean, we all come to a time when we want to, be of that. I got this, Ima, I got that. But you got to really have it. If I trust you to have it, if I've been talking to you all these years, you'd be like, come on, Ops. You tell me that every time I go out. I tell my sons, be careful. Every time you go out. 30-something, 20-something, 20, almost 30, the other one. Be careful. And I drill it, be careful. It's a couple of words, but I want you to take that in. So when you go out there, be careful. See, this is messages about wisdom. The next part we're going to read, we're going to the Apocrypha for real this time. And I want to go to Esdras. We're going to go to chapter 3. First. I know a lot of y'all, again, don't have the Apocrypha. But that's where our listening skills come in at. And chapter 3, okay. And this is more about like challenges, and we all go about things, and my car's better than your car, and this and that. So, and back in these times of King Darius, when Israel was underfoot, we stayed underfoot a lot more than we stayed at the head. Right. So we always had some people up over us, and we all know the reason for that. We just didn't do that which was right in the Most High's sight. So in this time here, we had a couple of fellas who wanted to make a little challenge. They was underfoot, but they had a good position. So as you read, I'll explain. Kamshi.
First Ezra chapter 3, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Now when Darius reigned, he made a great feast unto all his subjects, and unto all his household, and unto all the princes of Media and Persia, and to all the governors and captains and lieutenants that were under him, from India unto Ethiopia, of 127 provinces. And when they had eaten and drunken, and being satisfied, were gone home, then Darius the king went into his bedchamber and slept, and soon after awaked. Okay, now this is King Darius, and like all other kings and all of them that we was underfoot with, they did a lot of partying. Mm-hmm. So they threw a nice banquet for all for the Medes and the Persians and all the other governors and generals. Okay, so after that he went home to lay down. Country. Then 3 young men that were of the guard that kept the king's body spoke one to another. Let every one of us speak a sentence. He that shall overcome, and whose sentence shall seem wiser than the others, unto him shall the king Darius give great gifts and great things in token of victory. As to be clothed in purple, to drink in gold, and to sleep upon gold, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tie of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. And he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. All right, now, these are 3 guys. These was the bodyguards of King Darius. That's when you get a position like that, that means you really earned it. So they sitting outside, the king is asleep. They bored to death, nothing else to do, so they just start talking. Now, Darius didn't promise none of this stuff. Darius didn't, he ain't sanctioned none of this, but they just start saying, listen, we're going to write a sentence. Each of us going to write just a little paragraph, and we're going to say, which one is the strongest. You tell me which one you think is the strongest, I tell you, and they said, okay, and the one who wins, you're going to get to ride in chariots, you're going to get gold chains, you're going to get purple. And Darius, like I said, Darius didn't say none of this. So they making this up because you're just sitting around, you're bored, you're trying to pass the time. Come, sheep. 8. Then everyone wrote his sentence, sealed it, and laid it under King Darius his pillow, and said that when the king is risen, some will give him the writings, and whose side the king and the 3 princes of Persia shall judge that his sentence is the wisest, to him shall the victory be given as was appointed. All right. So now I don't know who the bad guy was who went to the king and slid this pit thing under the pillow, but one of them slid all 3 of their writings, their statements, underneath the pillow. Come, sheep. The first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is strongest. The third wrote, women are strongest. But above all things, truth beareth away the victory. Now when the king was risen up, they took their writings and delivered them unto him, and so he read them. And sending forth, he called all the princes of Persia and Media, and the governors, and the captains, and the lieutenants, and the chief officers, and sat them down in the royal seat of judgment, and the writings were read before them. And he said, call the young men. They shall declare their own sentences. So they were called and came in. And he said unto them, declare unto us your mind concerning the writings.
All right. Now, it says, when the king woke, first it says, and the first wrote, wine is the strongest. The second wrote, the king is the strongest. And the third wrote, women are strongest, but above all things, true wisdom. Truth is the victim. So, okay, now, the second one pretty much, you're like, we're giving this to the king. So it's a given that if I write the king is the strongest, I should win. But then the third one, which is Zerubbabel, which you'll see later on, he took it upon himself and slid two things in there. With them not knowing, he put the woman, he said, but above all truth. So he tried to wrap two in one. So then it goes on, it says, when the king read this, then he brought on all his men of wisdom, all the governors and all of the strong men and the chiefs. And then he told them, he said, and they said to them, explain to us what you have written. Okay, you read these things and all you see is wine, king, women. So like, all right, this sounds like a little challenge. But like, especially you young people that are in school, or all of us who've been in school, when they give you certain questions, it's a two-part question. They say, okay, well, tell me which one is the strongest. King. Next little thing say, explain. So you just can't say, my car is better than yours. Explain why. Why you feel this way. So, the king said, we're going to make this a real challenge. We're going to drink a little more, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to listen to what they say. Come, sheep.
17. And he said unto him, 18. Then began the first who had spoken of the strength of wine. And he said thus, O ye men, how exceeding strong is wine, it causeth all men to err that drink it. It maketh the mind of the king and of the fatherless child to be all one, of the bondman and of the free man, of the poor man and of the rich.
All right. It says, then the first who has spoken of the strength of wine began and said, gentlemen, how is wine the strongest? It leads astray the minds of all who drink it. It makes equal the minds of kings and orphans, of slaves and free, and the poor and the rich. Okay, so he begins his statement. He says, first of all, he said wine, he said, leads astray the mind of those who drink it. Once you start drinking wine, your mind just start traveling. Once you just get on the alcohol tip, your mind starts to traveling. Once you start playing with the Hennessy. And he said also, it said make everybody equal.
Right.
Poor people can sit down with the rich. Once y'all start drinking, y'all can chop it up and all kind of stuff. The king, it said the king with the orphans. Kings sit down and drink it. Once you done had enough drinks in you, everybody's cool. You cool with everybody. That's my man's. You ain't know him but 30 minutes. That's my man. Give him whatever you want. That's my main man. Give him whatever you want. It's on me. Yeah, once you get that drink in you, come she.
20. It turneth also every thought.
Rich forgets kings and satraps and makes everyone talk in millions. You forget that you talking to somebody who can have your head. You forget you talking to the king because you drunk. Oh man, you put your hand all over. You ain't supposed to be touching him. That's we peoples and this is what alcohol does. Come she.
22. And when they are in their cups, they forget their love both to friends and brethren, and a little after draw out swords.
When you in that cup, when you start drinking and babbling on and running your mouth and somebody say something, you forget that's my main man. We grew up together, all of that. Nah, man, we're going to fight. You should have never said that. Look, you be wanting to fight your homeboy, your main man, your pops, your sister, anybody. You just want to fight. That alcohol give you courage you ain't never had. You forget you don't know how to fight. You forget you ain't no tough person. You just want to battle anybody. Let me go. You try to come on, hold you back from killing yourself. Get off me. Listen, that alcohol just give you a false sense of security. It gives you that courage, that liquid courage they call it. And you just think you the baddest thing out there. You walking around in the street, took your shirt off and everything, walking around talking stuff. It's December. You done forgot it's snow on the ground and you walk around, kill everything. Kill iron, put a brick in the hospital. And that's what the alcohol do. But the count sheet.
23. But when they have formed the wine, they remember not what they have done. O ye men, is not wine the strongest that enforceth to do thus? And when he had so spoken, he held his peace.
And when they recover from the wine, they do not remember what they have done. Now, how many of y'all done seen that one? When you first wake up, you got that little headache. That just remind you was drinking, but then you be like, wow, what happened last night? What did I do last night? You look at your knuckles to see if you had a fight. You look in the mirror to see if you won or lost. You say, yo, get myself together. And when I go out there, I'm going to see how people look at me. You know what I'm saying? They be looking at me strange. You know? And then you start talking to your homeboy or something. Yo, what happened last night? What happened? What'd I do? I wasn't that bad, right? You got to ask questions. You have no idea. It's called a blackout. You blacked out. You have no idea what you did last night. So this guy feeling like, listen, I mean, and he's an expert. When he's saying all this is obvious, he knows. And he's saying that's what he feels make wine the strongest. And when he ceased from there. Come see.
Chapter 4. Then the second that had spoken of the strength of the king began to say, O ye men, do not men excel in strength, that bear rule over sea and land and all things in them? But yet the king is more mighty, for he is Lord of all these things and have dominion over them. And whatsoever he commanded them, they do. If he bid them make war, the one against the other, they do it. If he send them out against the enemies, they go and break down mountains, walls, and towers.
All right, go ahead.
They slay and are slain, and transgress not the king's commandment. If they get the victory, they bring all to the king, as well the spoil as all things else.
All right. Now, this brother goes on, feeling he got the edge. He says, I say the king is the strongest. He said, gentlemen, are not men strongest who rule over land and sea and all that is in them? Okay, he said, look, man is the strongest person here, but he said but the king is stronger. He is their Lord and Master, and whatever he says to them, they obey. If he tells them to make war on one another, they do it. If the king comes, y'all see the book, y'all read, it said, look, let the young men play. Yeah. And that wasn't even the king. That was just, some of the big guys. Let the young men play. And they can't say, nah, I don't want to fight him over there. That's my man. Yo, when we say let the young men play, yo, look, whip your swords out and go at each other. Because when the king ain't here, we got the king's rule. But that's what the king can do. The king want us some sport, he'd be like, wow, I know Ray Sean and Dawid, they've been friends for 30 years. You see, get them in here, man. See, let them fight. I want to see them two fight, man. They've been walking together, smiling and all. I want to see them fight today. And they better fight for real. Right. And that's the king's power. Now, if you don't do it, then you die. He said, nah, that's my man, King. I don't want to fight him, man. No, you don't. So that's a disobey of a direct order from the king. Right. So it's a death penalty. So he's saying that's a strength when you can get men to fight. He said they do it, and if he sends them out against enemies, they go and conquer mountains, walls, and towers. He knocked down all kind of stuff for the king. He says, and they kill or beat or kill. So they got killed or killed and do not disobey the king's command. And if they win the victory, they bring everything to the king.
Right.
So when you go out and fight and you conquer stuff, all that comes back to the king. Now he takes all the best of it, you know, like the horn, like the Most High said, the women, the horses. The king take all that and he kick you to scraps.
Right.
You know, but the best goes to the king. Now you know, the king ain't left his throne. He might have went out to the balcony for a while, but he ain't left his throne, and he gets the best of everything. He get the best of all that, and that's what the Most High told us. He said, y'all ask for a king, but you know what a king will do to you? Take the best of your women, the best of your horses, the best of everything.
Right.
Because he is our king. And the better we know that he is our king, the better off we are. We may have little leadership, people who do things out here, but Father is king, and we can never forget that, big or small. Where we at?
6.
Come.
Verse 6. Likewise, for those that are not soldiers and have not to do with wars, but use husbandry, when they have reaped again that which they have sown, they bring it to the king and compel one another to pay tribute unto the king. And yet he is but one man.
All right. It says, for y'all who ain't soldiers, y'all warriors who can't go out there and get me gold and silver and diamonds. He said, okay, y'all till the fields and y'all do all of that stuff. I ain't get my hands dirty. And y'all bring this stuff in. He said, bring all this to me. He says, and he tax y'all for all the stuff that y'all grow on y'all farms and all that. The king tax you.
Right.
He said, and yet he is only one man. King only one man. Huh? That's like we used to say it in the day. We be standing on the corner, and one police, I mean, we bad, all this, but one cop come and stand on that corner. And everything just yo, man, it's 20 of us, man, it's just one of this guy, man. But now, you know, being an officer, we didn't want to go overboard. We was young, but we wasn't that dumb. So you know, he said, give us the corner. Give me the corner. You disperse. But this guy was one guy. Look, these guys who watch him in the bed, you can catch him sleeping and just take him out. But this is the power he had. As one man against all y'all, he barking out orders, and y'all wait till y'all get way, way out of his sight, like 20 blocks away. Yo, you hear this guy start murmuring against the king. Won't tell him nothing to his face. But when y'all get away from him, I can't stand that guy, man. Huh? I know he was wrong, but I couldn't even tell him he was wrong. It's one guy. It's the power one guy got over us when we ain't right with the Most High. Come, sheep. 7.
And yet he is but one man. If he commands to kill, they kill. If he commands to spare, they spare. And if he commands to smite, they smite. If he commands to make desolate, they make desolate. If he commands to build, they build.
Whatever he say do, as the king, you do.
Right.
You kill, you let chill. If he say chill, you know, you could be at your angriest. God could have just did you dirty, and you just want to take his head off. And by all rights in this book, you right. But the king said, yo, chill. Just let him, give him a pass on this one. A pass? This dude did this to my wife. He did that. King said, give him a pass. You got to give him a pass. You don't have to, but come, sheep.
9. If he command to cut down, they cut down. If he command to plant, they plant. So all his people and his armies obey him. Furthermore, he lieth down, he eateth and drinketh, and taketh his rest. And these keep watch round about him. Neither may one depart and do his own business, neither disobey they him in anything. O ye men, how should not the king be mightiest, when in such sort he is obeyed, and he held his tongue?
Again, this guy says, if he tell us to do all this, we do this. He said, all his people and his armies obey him. Furthermore, he reclines. He lays back. He put his hands back. He eat. He go to sleep. He's chilling. He said, but they watch. They keep watch around him, and no one may go away to attend to his own affairs. You can't even attend to your own business when you're dealing with the king. When them 3 guys is watching the king, they can't say, yo, man, I got to run home, man. My Issachar is like 9 months pregnant, man. This baby about to come any day, man. I just got to be there to put the... Man, you ain't going nowhere. King said, you a doctor? Huh? You ever delivered a baby before?
Right.
You stay right here. King says, stay here, you stay here. You can't attend to your own business. When you watching over the king, when you serving the king, when you serving his leaders, you can't do your own business. Because the leader says, stay here. I want you to stay here, hang around with me until I go to sleep. Huh? Play that harp, David, until I fall out. And that's what you had to do. David couldn't even go back home to his own house. David, King Saul said, you stay right here with me. Huh? I like your style. You go back home to Jesse no more. Ain't that so? But that's what happens with the king, you know. And like in the movie with Malcolm X, the police told him, said, look, that's just too much power for one man. When Malcolm X told the people, he said, that's too much power for one man. But we're gonna go a little further.
13. Then the third, who had spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it one that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them, or who hath lordship over them? Are they not women?
All right, hold on. Now, we just talked about king, talked about wine, talked about Malcolm X and his power. But if any of y'all seen The Homecoming and watched that little documentary with Beyonce, now, that's a lot of power. Beyonce got a lot of power over what's they call the Beehive. Yo, when the Beehive get mad at somebody, yo, they got a problem. They got a problem. Beyonce people, her followers is watching that thing. She just up there dancing and that, and they in the audience crying. Oh. Guys, this is the dudes. I ain't talking about the girls. I give the girls a pass. The guys is like, oh. That's a lot of power there too. Come see.
15. Women have borne the king, and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came they, and they nourished them up that planted the vineyards, from whence the wine cometh. These also make garments for men. These bring glory unto men, and without women cannot men be.
Okay, all right. It says, who is it then that rules them or has mastery over them? Is it not women? Women gave birth to the king. All right, so women carried the king for 9 months. It says, and every people that are rulers over the sea and land, from women they came. Say everything that came out of the the womb of a woman. And if you carry something that long, it becomes a close bond. If you have a baby in your stomach for 9 months and the baby comes out, you nourish it, it becomes a bond. So even with kings, they still, when Ema says something, Ema get in that ear, it sways everything. Even to Solomon, when Ema said, listen, get your brother, I mean, it didn't work, but moms had to come in and try and say, get your brother, your Abba's ex-wife, your Abba's wife. He couldn't have came straight to him and did that. Right. But moms took a chance on that. Where we at? 18.
Yea, and if men have gathered together gold and silver, or any other goodly thing, do they not love a woman which is comely in favor and beauty? And letting all these things go, do they not gape, and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her? And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever?
All right. It says women makes men's clothes and they bring men glory. Men cannot exist without women. It says if men gather gold and silver or any other beautiful thing and then see a woman lovely in appearance and beauty, it said they let all those things go and gape at her. Listen, even with the king, when you go out to war for the king and bring back them spoils, and you going through the spoils, and you see this, you ought to kill this woman, and you see this gold thing with a nice ruby on it, and all that. You look around and say, nah, I'm taking this home to my Isha. You ain't getting this. Huh? You risking your life to take a piece home. Say, I'm taking this, my Isha look good with this chain on. King can get all this other stuff. I'm taking this home to Isha. And it says, and when you gape at him, it says, and then sees women lovely in appearance and beautiful. It said they let all work the most dangerous job. The crane is going up, and you see that girl go by summer day. You be like, wow. You forgot you got 2 tons up there. You got 2 tons in the air, and only people working. And you like, oh my God. You stopped the other guy from working. Did you see that?
Right.
Did you see that? I heard. The whole job site stop. Like it's break time or something. When she come by, you be like, wow. And then another one gonna come by. So, no work get done in there. Foreman say, everybody inside. We're gonna work inside today. But that's what they do for women. Women of beauty. Come she.
20. A man leaveth his own father that brought him up, and his own country, and cleaveth unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife, and remembereth neither father nor mother nor country. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you.
All right, it says, look, you leave your house. That's like one of your primary things when I grow up. You know, I'm gonna get me a nice woman. I'm leaving home. I'm doing this. He says, you leave father and mother, the guy who reared you up, son who raised you, did all this stuff, to go to follow this woman. To listen. She said, look, I got a job. You know, I know we've been dating for a while, but this job is gonna make me go to California. Me too. We going to California. Well, you know, your parents over there, you know, you got to take care of your pops. He kind of, we gonna work that out. We'll work that out some kind of way, but if you going to California, I'm going to California. You say you leave country, family, everything. Comes.
By this also ye must know, 22. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman?
All right, again, like I said, you work that construction job, you work certain things, you take that check home. Us guys, those guys, not us guys, who not too good at managing money. You know, some of us are the managers of the money. Can I get amen? But a lot of guys, they work hard and they do all that and they take the money home because again, like in the spirit of wine, if you don't take that money home, you're gonna blow that money. That's right. I done see people going home from work and walk to a dice game and say, I'm just gonna bet a 20. Right. I'm just gonna bet one $20 bill, win or lose, I'm gone. They put that 20 down and throw a 6 so fast, make your head spin. You're like, oh, give me that 20. You say, one more. You know, and the mitt look this thick, this. Right. One more. And you just start betting. So most men, when they toil and they work and hard labor, they say, hey, Isha, take care of the bills, take care of this, you know, make sure there's food in the house. I'm just gonna take this 100 right here and go out here and do what I'm gonna do. Yeah, to the dice game. Hopefully I win a couple of more 100. All right, where we at?
23. Yea, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion, and goeth into darkness. And when he has stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love.
You know how many guys right now are doing like 25 to life, doing triple lives, doing a 3 to 5 or whatever, or dead probably, for the love of the woman. I'm going out here, man. Look, my girl, man, she been on my back, talking about these bills, talking about I don't bring no money home. I gotta do this robbery, I gotta do this. You know, and this is just because your girl is just in your ear, just for the love of your wife, just to make her smile, to please her. So I'm gonna bring some money home, hook or crook. Today, I'm going home with some money. I'm gonna rob somebody, I'm gonna steal something, I'm gonna do something. This is for the love of a woman. Well, he said he faces lions and he walks in darkness, and when he steals and robs and plunders, he brings it back to the woman he loves. They say you face a lion down there, you say nothing gonna stop me. You go as the biggest cats in the world. Huh? You roll up in that bank with a water gun. These guys got machine guns. You go in there with a water gun and say, y'all gonna give me this money. And you might even squirt them. I'm trying to drown you. For the love of a woman. Come she.
25. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes.
Your loss is a lot, some more lotters on the back of that. Men that have lost their mind over a woman. There wasn't no drugs involved. It wasn't no smoking, drinking, just for the woman. Just, I mean, and if you fell in love and she really didn't love you, and look, you stay at her door, you walk by her house day and night. I know people that walk by the house, look at the window. No, she ain't gonna talk to you. There's nothing to say to you. They'll said it to you 100 times. We done. Got 12 order of protections out on you, but you just walk around and if I just had one more chance, you'd have had 20 chances. Just one more chance. People lose their mind over the love of their woman. Come she.
Many also have perished, have erred, and have sinned for women.
Look, we broken laws. It says, many have perished or stumbled or sinned because of the woman. All right, come on.
And now, do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him, and I pomade the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Bardicus, sitting at the right hand of the king.
All right, hold on. All right, it says, many have perished and stumbled or sinned because of the woman. And now, do you not believe me? So the question comes out. Do you not believe still that women is the strongest? It says, is not the king great in power? Do not all lands fear to touch him? This is the one guy that everybody's scared of. He said, do not everybody fear? He said, yet I have seen him with upon me. I messed up this lady. The king's concubine, the daughter of the illustrious Bardicus, she would sit at the king's right hand. Now this is his concubine, wife. She sits at his right hand. Messed up. Look, left. Right hand. And come she.
And taking the crown from the king's head and setting it upon her own head, she also struck the king with her left hand.
All right. Now, this is the king, most powerful guy in the world, in that region, not in the world, but in that region. Everybody fears him. Men, warriors, answer to this king. But his woman on his right hand, she's so bold and she knows the love that he has for her. She just take the crown off his head and with the left hand slap him in the back of his head. You know that little hook in the back of his head. She just hard slap. And what he do?
31. And yet for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again.
Okay, now, after that big slap that left a knot on the back of his head, the love he got for her made him just look over. Now, he's messed up right now. Because he got to see what kind of face she got with this slap. So he looked over. So she smiled and said, oh, okay. I'm just joking, slap, man. That was what you call the love tap. She gave me old love tap. She just playing around. But if he gaze over at her and she got that face on, that face that he know all so well, now he's like, well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? How can I fix this? He's, you know, because he want to know what's the problem is. You know, because she ain't going to tell you directly. She ain't just going to come out and say, you did thus and thus and thus. So now you got to try to figure out what you did wrong. So that's what it says. It says, if she smile at him, he laughs, because the smile is a good thing. All right, she slapped me in the back of the head, but there's a love tap. She's all right. So he laughed at that one. Do it again. So if she lose her temper with him, he flatters her. Now, if she lose her temper with the slap, she like, blah, 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 and give him that, you know, start talking all kind of tough stuff. Now he trying to flatter her. But baby, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm sorry. You know, now you got to flatter her with different stuff. I was going to give y'all some lines, but y'all ain't getting them. So that she may be reconciled to him. So now he's trying to reconcile. He's trying to make amends with her, make her feel better. So come she.
O ye men, how can it be but women should be strong, seeing they do thus? Then the king and the princes looked one upon another. So he began to speak the truth. O ye men, are not women strong? Great as the earth, high as the heaven, swift as the sun in his course. But he compasseth the heavens round about, and fetcheth his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesseth. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, the king is wicked, women are wicked, all the children of men are wicked, and such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish.
All right. Now, Zerubbabel goes on, because he's got a part 2 there. So women didn't get you. I can get you with the left, I'm going to hit you with the right. So he said, then the king and the nobles looked at one another, and he began to speak about truth. Because now they done looked at him with that women thing, and they're like, I think he almost won that. You know how the judges, they start conferring on each other, concurring. Yo, how you think about that? So while they talking, now let's get to the truth. So he said, gentlemen, are not women strong? The earth is vast and high, and heaven is high. So he's giving all these things. He said, the sun is swift in its course, for it makes the circuit of the heavens and returns to its place in one day. Is not the one who does these things great, but truth is great and stronger than all things. The whole earth calls upon truth, and the heavens blesses it. All God's work quakes. All God's works quake and tremble with him who is nothing unrighteous. It said all God's creations tremble at the truth. It says everything. It says, okay, it goes on to say wine is unrighteous, kings are unrighteous, women are unrighteous. It said all human beings are unrighteous at one point or another. There's nobody who sinneth not. There's wine drinking past moderation will get you in trouble. Kings, even though they have to read the book every day of the book of the law every day, they fall short and they go to the side. So all of these have unrighteousness in them. But the truth is verifiable, as Corn Mikael would say. The truth is verifiable. It says the lie can never become a truth. The lie is going to be always a lie. I don't care how many people believe that lie is never going to become the truth. Come shoot.
38. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards, for she doeth the things that are just, and refraineth from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the God of truth. And with that he held his peace, and all the people then shouted and said, great is truth, and mighty above all things.
It says, but truth endures and is strong forever. The truth never played out. The truth is, man, this guy, I can't stand him. He always telling the truth. It don't play out like that. It says, and lives and prevails forever and ever. With it, there is no partiality and no preference. There's no preference with the truth. There's no, that's my man. I got to side with him. There's no partiality with the truth. When we dealing with the truth, that's what it is. If you've seen it, you say what you've seen. If you haven't seen it, you got to say the truth. I didn't see it. I heard about it, but I didn't actually see it with my own eyes. And that's the truth. And if you've done something and you've been lying about it for a long time, the truth comes out. I mean, it's never too late for the truth. It's never too late to say, Abba, you know that thing over there that's been broke for so long, and every time you say, who broke it, I'll be like, it wasn't me. I broke it. It was me. It's never too late for confession with the truth. It says, but it does what is righteous instead of anything that is unrighteous or wicked. Everyone approves its deeds. Everybody can approve of the truth. Everybody can say, listen, man, that guy right there, he's a gutsy guy. Even though it might cost him, but he did tell the truth. And that gets you leniency in most cases. It says, and there is nothing unrighteous in its judgment. To it belongs the strength and the kingship and the power and the majesty of all the ages. Blessed be the God of truth. It said, blessed be our God, the Most High, who puts true things in this book for us to follow. It says, and when he stopped speaking, all the people shouted and said, great is the truth and the strongest. So people went with the truth. And as we go forward, that was one of the things that helped our brother Zerubbabel with his wisdom make the king ask him, what would you like? You get the gold and all that stuff that y'all made up, but what else would you like? And his first thing was, I'd like you to give us passage to go back to Jerusalem and build back the temple. So that shows the godliness in him, because he could have been selfish, as other people may have been, but he thought of his people and said, let us go back and build up the temple. And I hope and I pray that y'all got something out of that today. Shabbat Shalom.